What's up, CEOs? So today we're talking about the reasons dealers go broke or have to close, okay? So are you thinking about closing shop, or are you thinking about starting up, but you don't want to be one of those dealers who start just to close? Then today I'm going to talk about some things that you need to know. All right. So like and subscribe this video right now so that others can know that this is good info. It will be good info. Okay. Trust me. And this is kind of like your community service. All right. And it lets YouTube know that, hey, suggest this to other people. This video goes down live though in the dealer support group online. So the link is in the description. You can join there to get in ahead of time, ask some questions, and get what you need. Okay. I'm Shamel. I started the Auto Dealer Business School because I really wanted to help dealers and build a network of dealers who care about cars, the cars they sell, the customers having a good experience, and money. Okay, building wealth with their business. So what I offer at the Auto Dealer Business School is to help you with all of that. So this video is sponsored by the $1 Million Dealer Club. The $1 Million Dealer Club is for already licensed dealers, for people who are getting their license or have their applications in, soon will be licensed. It is everything you need to know to survive and grow your business. Okay. And it's the auction stuff. It's the titles, software, paperwork, problems with customers, how to get out of trouble even. Okay. We talk about that a lot in the dealer meetings. Paperwork. Did I mention paperwork? Okay. If I did mention it, then yeah, paperwork comes up a lot. So comment Dealer Club if you want details. All right. So I'm doing today's video because I had some interesting conversations this week, okay, around being a dealer and dealer life and what it takes to survive. And one of the conversations was with a young lady who is interested in buying her own car cash. And so in her research, she was, of course, brought to the idea of like being a licensed dealer. So we talked through it. And then that gave me like the first reason why people go broke. I hear this a lot, like dealers go broke getting a dealer license or getting into this business because they're thinking too small. Right? Like if you're getting into this business and you just want to buy yourself a car, or you want to buy a couple of cars for family members, then you're like, this isn't the route to go. This is for people who want to actually be in business, monetize their license, right? And look, I am a fan of a good workaround, a good loophole, a good hack, if you will, right? But you kind of got to do the numbers on this one because, okay, yeah, you might save some on buying your car, but if you got your own license, you had to pay all the licensing fees, right? So are you doing the math? Like, is it a wash? Like if you're breaking even, then why go through all of that? Or if you just saved a little bit, like how much money do you need to save on buying your new car, your next car, that makes it worth it, right? And even if you just be a dealer rep, being a dealer rep, they charge upfront fees, they charge per car fees, and some even charge monthly fees to even have the access. Okay, so this still is thousands of dollars. And so like, is it worth it? Like, is it actually worth it? And then the other thing is like, why would you rather get a license and not fund a small business that's selling quality used cars, right? Like, wouldn't it be easier just to find someone who's already in business, who is selling the kind of car you want, or who can go to the auction and buy it for you, right? By appointment only, okay? And you just you're funding a small business by helping them with sales, right? Like, isn't that the cycle of life, so to speak? Right? So what is it that has you, like, I know what it is, because people think dealers are crooked. People don't like dealers. Okay. This is like one of the most hated businesses out there. Okay. Or professions. And so I get it. You're like, well, whatever I need to do to avoid having to buy a car from a dealer, I'm willing to do. But that's thinking too small. Your dealer license is going to cost you a lot of money. You're going to probably end up going broke because you didn't plan on how much it would cost and when to close so that you minimize costs. Okay. So that's number one. If you're just trying to buy a car, save some money, maybe have the inside track, just hook up with one of the dealers in the dealer network, okay, in the Auto Dealer Business School. And if that's you, then just say, hook me up with one of the dealers or something like that in the comments. I guess I should have gave it a cute little name, but something like that. Just hit me up and say, hey, yes, I want to be connected to one of the dealers. Okay. They can go to the auction, buy you a car. Okay. They help you, you help them, win-win. All right. Okay. So that's number one, thinking too small, just wanting to buy a car, just want to buy a couple of cars, supply your family. I've had that a lot over the years, but this week it came up. So number two, reasons dealers go broke or have to close up shop is not knowing when you are committing fraud or you are opening up yourself to an investigation. All right. So this happens mainly with paperwork, money. Okay. When I say paperwork, I mean like disclosures, implied warranties, even delivering cars to customers. Okay. All these details are in the dealer club. We go through each one of these things that you should not do because you open up yourself to liability. All right. But also just not knowing you're committing fraud. This is like a personal story. I hesitate to put this out there, but the statute of limitations have expired. But I'm one of those dealers that may possibly have accidentally committed fraud myself, right? Just not knowing. All right. And that is with people who have these pre-approved car approvals, and then they come to you, buy a car, and then they cancel the sale. And then once you want to be refunded, okay, that is not on the up and up. And if you don't know this on the up and up, you'll just think it's just a regular transaction. But that can open you up to all kinds of liability and fraud, including having your bond, having a claim against your bond because you were supposed to sell them a car and you were supposed to record that lien for that bank or credit union that gave that car approval. Okay. Like, it's not just so cut and dry. Like, well, they changed their mind, which is something I learned later. I was like, oh, I did not know that. You need to know that. There are a lot of ways that you could accidentally commit fraud or just open yourself up to an investigation. And you don't want to be on certain lists, okay? And we talked a little bit about that with auction access and with these pre-approvals, all right, CEO? So we'll talk about this more in a web class that's coming up, free web class. I'm doing this free web class because I want you to either decide that this is a business for you, so you stay in business, or decide that you're going to stay in business because you're already in this business. All right. So the web class coming up is 5 ways dealers get shut down and how to avoid it. All right. So we're going to talk more in depth about fraud there. We need to shut down proof your dealer license, because if you do get shut down, a lot of times that eliminates you from being able to open up again as a dealer or get any other kind of license. Okay. Especially if there's a bond claim or something like that. All right. So this is not just about making money. This is about protecting your future in all ways. Okay. So accidentally committing fraud is number 2. That's how dealers go broke. That's how they have to close. Okay. Number 3, and let me know if you have any questions. Number 3, dealers go broke or have to close because they don't know their responsibilities. Like, what they're responsible for. Again, a lot of this is paperwork. So I get why y'all trying to do the auction access route with the dealer rep, because you want to avoid the paperwork and you want to avoid any liability. But for me, anything that I actively avoid leaves me open and vulnerable. So I, for myself, need to know what it would require to be able to master it. That's how I've always been. Like, if there is something that somebody can hold over my head, that is like, I'm going to figure out what it is about that thing that I don't know so that that person cannot hold it over my head. Okay. And if paperwork is like your kryptonite, then you need to learn the paperwork, because that is the one thing that somebody can get you on. If you're talking about being a victim or being taken advantage of or anything like that, or being scammed, like, you not knowing the paperwork leaves you open to all of that, right? Signing your name on stuff and you not understanding it. Like, you have to master paperwork. And that's with anything. If you were buying a house, I would say understand the paperwork. If you know, buying a car, of course, understand the paperwork. Like, you cannot just not know. You cannot just not know, right? That's the number one defense that people have when they break the laws. Like, I didn't know. And what they tell you, not knowing is not a defense. Okay. So you have to know about the paperwork. So know about your responsibilities. We break down your responsibilities in the Dealer Club, like what you're responsible for, what you have to do, what you have to file, when you have to file it, so that you don't get accidentally shut down, and your license gets revoked accidentally just because you didn't know. All right. So, yeah, know your responsibilities as a dealer, because there are responsibilities, and everything you have in life has responsibilities, right? Living in a home has responsibilities. Driving a car has responsibilities. Being in a relationship or having a significant other has responsibility. Like, everything that is important to you has responsibilities. So, the idea of like skipping over the responsibilities is like a fantasy. Okay. You just need to know. All right. So, let me know if you have any questions. Number 4 reason dealers go broke and have to close: thinking that they have to commit fraud to get ahead or stay ahead. Okay. This is like mind blowing to me. And the reason it's so mind blowing is because I too had this same mindset. Okay. We hear it in our songs. Okay. A little fraud on the side. Okay. Like, in today's economy, you have to have a job and a little fraud, right? Like, we hear it everywhere. We also see it. You know, we see these business people committing fraud and like driving nice cars and owning property and all this stuff. And they seem to get away with it, or at least for a long time. Right. So like, it's in us that we might have to commit fraud. And then there's the other side of it, of the coin, where, you know, we have been, if you are any kind of like other group of person in this country and you have tried to do things the right way, you know that you have had people come and shut you down, right? Burn your community down to the ground, or, you know, all these crazy things that you could be totally legit, and then somebody comes and does something to shut you down, and then it makes you angry. And then it's like, man, if I committed fraud, maybe it wouldn't be this way, right? Like, our bodies carry those memories. Our cells carry those memories from our ancestors, all right? So, you know, we possibly think that to be in business means to be in the business of fraud, and to try to do fraud in a way that goes undetected. Okay, so I get it. Okay, no judgment. I was blown away because I was like, ooh, yes, okay, look, exposed. All right. But you do not have to commit fraud. I was talking to this dealer. He was explaining to me how this other dealer who he was working with at one point sold his cars, like how he reassigned the title and all this stuff to avoid having to register the car in the buyer's name. Okay. And he was doing all that just so that he didn't have to raise the price to charge for the taxes. Okay. And I told him in his state, he didn't have to raise the price to charge for the taxes, because him as a dealer didn't have to pay the taxes on behalf of his customers. Okay. So he was doing all this stuff to avoid the paperwork when he didn't have to. You know, it was like, but it's almost like you go into business thinking you got to do all this, moving the cup around, you know, not letting the right hand know what the left hand is doing and all that. And it's not even necessary. Okay. That was just one instance, but it's a lot of instances where Committing fraud is just not even necessary about what you're doing. So you can come to the Dealer Club and you can candidly talk about what you're doing and how you're running your business and how you like not letting the right hand know what the left hand is doing, so that we can iron that process out. Okay. So you don't have to feel like you're doing something underhanded, because although what he's doing is not necessarily fraud or legit, but he's just like, I know he feel like he doing something underhanded, right? And that mindset prevents you from making more money, prevents you from putting yourself out there, prevents you from having big numbers, because if you have big numbers, now you're not necessarily flying under the radar and all that, right? Then it affects your business. Then you can go broke. All right, CEOs, or have to close, because maybe one day the pressure of all this, whatever you doing has got to you. You're not sleeping good at night. Your blood pressure is high. Like, and then you're like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to let it go. The whole time you're not even doing nothing wrong. All right, CEOs, or there's a better way, easier way, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't have to commit fraud to get ahead or stay ahead. You can have clean transactions. You just need confidence. Okay. And we have that at the Dealer Club for sure. All right. And I would say the number 5 reasons why dealers go broke and have to close is that they don't expect to stay in business. I am so blown away at the people who don't expect to be here in 5 years, 2 years even. Okay, 10 years, right? Like, you have to expect to stay in business, to be in business, plan to stay in business, give yourself everything you need to stay in business, like the 5 ways dealers get shut down and how to avoid it. Free web class. Okay. Shutdown proof your dealership, your dealer license, your lifestyle. This can be a great lifestyle. Like, you got into business because the opportunity to make more money is your decision. At any moment, if you need an extra $10,000 because you have a business, you have a vehicle to go and get that $10,000. Look, vehicle, literally, you have a vehicle. Okay, literally and figuratively, you have a vehicle to go and get the extra money. So if your expenses, like, I have had people have the excuse of not joining the Dealer Club because they're monitoring their expenses. First of all, anything that your business needs to get better is an investment. Okay. And if you need to make more money, if a couple of $100 is going to break your business is in trouble. Okay, let me just let you know, you in trouble. You think it's too small, you don't have an investment mindset, and you don't feel like you can just go out and make that money, you in trouble. Okay, so change your mindset. Expect to stay in business. Expect to give yourself what you need in business so that you can stay in business and that you can be here, so that when customers that you sold to years ago come back, they can still spend with you. Okay. Because you are building something here. You are building a list of customers. You are building a presence. You are building a brand. You are branding yourself. Okay. So why do all that work with every transaction, every car you sell, just to close in 6 months, a year, 18 months, like, why do that? Expect to stay in business. All right. Get what you need. Comment, no shutdown for the details on the 5 ways dealers get shut down and how to avoid it web class. And I will see you there. Okay. CEOs, I'm always praying for your success. I feel like these trainings are getting deeper and deeper into what you need to survive. Let me know if you feel the same. Let me know if you have any ideas about what else could help you. I'm always praying for you, but you have got to help yourself. If you do not help yourself, I cannot help you. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. I cannot make you drink. This is your water. Drink up. All right. I hope to see you in the web class, 5 ways dealers get shut down and how to avoid it. And be blessed. Until next time. Bye.